All right, Shalom. I wish I come to again with this truth, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders, that great millstone who rule well, and citations to the Akim, that's across the four corners of the earth, pushing his words, sincerity and truth with all long suffering and doctrine, risking their lives and freedom to do so. All right. Now that I know the mic is working, I just checked on my phone. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. All right, as you see, I titled this video "Tired of This Shit," you know, and that goes a multitude of different ways. Whether you want to say we tired of going to camp, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about having these bonehead ass niggas who refuse to hearken unto the truth, you know. And as the brothers was just expounded on, you know, they was just going live before this one, this video here. They was expounding on the fact that Russia about to get it popping with this place, all right? And in a minute, I'm about to open up with this article, but I'm just expounding on the fact that, man, we tired of having to deal with these bonehead ass niggas, you know, claiming to know the truth, claiming that they in the truth, but they not living according to it. All right. Uh, can't hear. Let me try again. Let me try to fuck with the settings and see if I can set that up for you. Let me try. Let me know if you can hear anything, guys. I'm waiting on your feedback, Bubba Kasha. Um, I don't see why you couldn't be able to. All right, it's playing on my end. So if it's not working for you, you know, Salaki. All right, so I'm just gonna keep going with the lesson because I heard it up on my end. So let me go ahead and bring out some scriptures. So I had the brothers bring out on the live stream that they just did prior to this one, Isaiah 13 and 19, and I actually want to grab that. But before I grab that, I actually want to grab another one. I'm gonna actually grab Jeremiah 51 and 7 first. All right, so this is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 7. And it says, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. All right. Uh, they drunken of the philosophies of this place. You know, one of the things that just took place yesterday and this whole weekend that just passed was a gay pride. You know, first and foremost, pride in and of itself is wicked. You know, and then they go on and put the homosexuality behind it. That's just vexing in and of itself. And brother, you know, we at camp, we witnessing this shit. It's just putting us, you know, to the boiling point. But the fact that we got to be harmless as doves and not be able to lay hands on these people, knowing that it's lawful according to the scriptures, you know what I'm saying? It's just it's vexing, man. The fact that we got to bottle up and suppress our spirit, you know. So according to this title, like I was just saying, you know, we tired of this shit, man. We tired of having to deal with 2/3 niggas who uphold this shit. Because basically, if you put it like this, you ask a nigga, you could try a spirit like this, how you feel about homosexuality? Oh, if it ain't got nothing to do with me, you do what you do over there. You know what I'm saying? That's the wrong spirit to be in anyway, because the Lord is not with it at all. You know, they got you ain't no straddling the fence. You got to be all the way with it or all the way against it, you know. And pursuant to the scriptures, you know, that's, let me grab that in Isaiah 3rd chapter. You know, see which way this spirit is going. Isaiah 3:9, it says, the shoe of their countenance doeth witness against them, and they declare their sin in Sodom. They hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. All right. So death and destruction unto their soul, because they have rewarded evil unto themselves. They count their sin in Sodom. And one of the videos that I seen, as unfortunate as it was that my eyes had to witness this shit, was the fact that there was on top of a street pole, like a corner, like a light changing pole, you know what I'm saying? And it was a man with another man's face, you know what I'm saying, bumping cheek to cheek, let me just say that. And it was vexing in and of itself to see, like, goddamn, man, this is what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And our children got to see this shit. The younger eyes that don't know what's going on got to see this shit. We got to see this shit, you know, and we know the truth, you know, and they upholding this shit like that's something cool. Hey, man, we tired of this shit, yo. Hey, the brother made a statement at camp, you know, how a couple of years back, you could kind of cope with it. You know, you brothers get a little drink afterwards, chop it up, you know what I'm saying, be with the brotherhood, that Psalms 133 and one spirit. And, you know, you kind of like, you understand the fact that this is the times we're living in, but we know not the end yet. But now we're starting to see the chip rolling. We're starting to see these, hear of wars and rumors of wars, you know what I'm saying? We see earthquakes in diverse places, starting to see these prophecies start to come more into fruition. Hey, man, and the drink ain't holding up no more. We like, hey, man, that's starting not to be enough. The Lord got to come back and avenge himself for his name's sake. You know, he got to come back and, like he said in 2nd Esdras 15:8, he will hold his tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit here this day, man. And coinciding with that is 2/3 of the nation of Israel who uphold this shit, you know. So let me grab the one I made statement of before I move on. Isaiah chapter 13, verse 19. And yeah, by the way, pursuing back to that other one I just read at Jeremiah 50:51-7, hey, all the nations gonna be mad, man. Because they, like it's spoken of in Revelation 18th chapter, they ain't gonna be able to make merchandise off this place no more. The merchants, you know, the people that trade by the sea, they ain't gonna be able to make profit off this place anymore. You know, they're gonna be upset at the fact that they can no longer benefit off of America. You know, and that's when we're gonna be rejoicing. That's when we're gonna be happy as fuck when these people is brought low. Because right now they on a high ass pedestal. You know, right now they feeling highly of themselves, like it's spoken of in Isaiah the 47th chapter. So before I move on, without further ado, I gotta grab this Isaiah 13:19. It says, I'm looking at the wrong one, so like here it is. It says, "And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah." All right. So they set this place on high. What you do with a harlot, you know, you use her and you do away with her. And that's what many of these other nations come here to do. They seek that American dream, the big house with a white picket fence, you know, and then they use it for what they can, make a little money off of it, and then do away with it. And the scriptures speak about how these other nations go flee back to their city, to their hometown, or wherever they come from. So the fact that the matter remains, this place is set in high regards, is what I'm trying to say. And I got to grab that a little bit in the book of Luke as well. Let me bring that back. Isaiah 13:19, "And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah." And what did he do to Sodom and Gomorrah? He rained fire from the heavens, man. And that's an example, and I'm gonna grab it in the book of 2nd Peter because I made a statement of it over the phone, but I wasn't able to bring it out. That's an example of what the Lord is gonna do to this place. You know, Shalom, by the way. All the brothers on the comment board, Yahweh Shanal Shabrakatham. All right. So this is 2 Peter chapter 2. I'm gonna start at shit. I'm gonna start at 4. I mean, you really all of that's good, but I'm just trying to get to the point. It says, "For if Yahweh spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment," which perfectly coincide with Jude 1:6. You know, the fact that we can't put up this body, this flesh. Prime example, say you get sick. You know, you can't put it off. It's up to the Lord if He wants you to be sick or not sick. You know, this flesh is part of the captivity and the slavery. And prime example I give you, or the analogy I give you, is LeBron James. He just had his house. They spray painted the N word on it, nigger or whatever. You know, on the fence on the side of his house, and basically that's letting you know that these people still hate you despite how much money you got. So you're still under these curses. All right. So He spared not the angels that sinned, which angels means messengers, by the way, and the elect was those angels that sinned. All right. He didn't spare them. They went into captivity along with the other nation. I mean, all with the rest of the Israel, you know, 2/3 as well, you know, and we're still in captivity right now. And shit, this is the place where you get judged as well. As it said, to be reserved at the judgment. Here on earth is where you get judged. Only the elect is going to be saved, unless they got to go out as a martyr, you know, but even still, they're going to be risen up first. All right. So it says, verse 5, "And spare not the old world, but save Noah, the 8th person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly." So that was the first death. All right. That was the first death in which the Lord flooded the earth. And then He made a covenant that He would no longer flood the earth. He would no longer destroy the earth by water anymore. And that was a covenant He made between us, the Israelites, and Him, you know. And what are they going to do? These heathens, these faggots, they're going to take our covenant, you know, and make it a symbol of pride, make it a symbol of homosexuality, which is completely contrary to the scriptures and what the Lord is for. And then you got bonehead niggas who are going to say King James was a faggot, but it's in the King James Bible that he's not with it, you know. Shit like that, man. It's asinine. All right. It's completely fucking asinine, and we tired of this shit. We tired of dealing with niggas who just can't get it. We tired of dealing with fucking fags and not being able to lay hands on these people, man. It's as simple as this. You can't reproduce that way. You know, it's gross. You bound to catch any type of diseases. You know, you doing all manner of wickedness. Hey, you deserve death. You deserve what's coming into you. Like it says here in verse 6, 2 Peter 2:6, "And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes." Hey, He ain't gonna spare this place. Like the scriptures say, every stone you see stand upon another. I'm roughly paraphrasing. I don't want to butcher it. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna grab it. Bear with me right quick. All right, Matthew, what did it say? 24:2. Let me grab that right quick. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 2. And it says, "And Yahushua said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down." All right. And that's basically letting you know, as far as the governments and these actual literal because the scriptures call the mountains, that's referring to the governors, by the way, but also these are the actual towers too, because they're above 3 stories. That's contrary to the scriptures anyway. You know, that's why when the whole 9/11 shit happened, nobody was able to be saved. When that Grenfell Tower shit happened over in London, and all those people got burned up, you know what I'm saying? There's no way for them to escape because they so high up off the ground. You know, as a matter of fact, people was actually throwing their children out, you know, and they died that way. So the Lord is cold, man. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. So back in 2 Peter 2:6, it says, "And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah to ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an ensample unto those that after should live ungodly." All right. That anybody want to go and follow after the ways of Sodom and Gomorrah, which Sodom, you know what I'm saying, is 2 men, you know what I'm saying, fucking with that anal shit, and the Gomorrahs is these lesbians out here. You know what I'm saying? These young MAs, young Mas, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. You know, he made it an example that if you shall live like that, this is what's gonna happen to you. All right. So the Lord got a perpetual hatred against this place. All right. Pursuing the Amos 9 and 8. And I'm actually about to get on Esau ass now too, because he the one who uphold this shit. All right. Now let me grab first and foremost Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter, and I'm just gonna flow through the spirit. I'm not sure how long this is gonna be. I'm just going whatever comes to mind. So this Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. I'm gonna start at 10. So like it says, let us oppress the poor righteous man. And this is speaking from the perspective of these heathens, all right? Because we the poor, all right? The Lord said he chosen the poor of this world rich in faith, all right? So it says, let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the aged. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. And that's all we have is the law of justice, this truth. It's not losing understanding, which is our comforter. All right. That's the only thing we can put our trust in. Yahweh Shem Yahushua, not confidence in man or in princes. Verse 12. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, speaking once again from the perspective of the heathens upon us, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objective to our infamy, the transgressions of our education, because they know that we get on their ass and we speak about them going off. Prime example, one of the things that the brother made mention of was the fact that Cain went to offer a wicked offering, you know, and then gonna get upset with the Lord, you know what I'm saying, afterwards. So it says, verse 13, he professed to have the knowledge of Yahweh, and he called himself the child of the Lord. And that's exactly what these heathens do. You know, these people that claim they took our nationality first and foremost, all right, and then they claim to be the child of the Lord, and they profess to have the knowledge of Yahweh. All right, prime example. If there was, and it's spoken of in Isaiah the 2nd chapter, if they was the children of the Lord, why is there still war going on within Israel? All right, Yahweh Shem Shabbarakatam. You know, why is there still war going on within Israel then, if they the children of the Lord? You know, that's contrary to the scriptures. You know, when we in the kingdom, ain't gonna be no war going on between us and other countries. They're gonna be tributary unto us. That's spoken of in Isaiah the 60th chapter. And then you got niggas out here who only believe the Old Testament. They only believe the Torah. You know what I'm saying? They don't even believe in the rest. Some of these Old Testament prophecies have still yet to be fulfilled. You know? It says this in verse 14. He was made to reprove our thoughts. That's the only purpose he was made. The scriptures say, if he be multiplied, it is for the sword. Esau being multiplied, it is only for the sword to be destroyed. He was made to reprove our thoughts. What happened with Job, the 1st chapter, the 6th verse, you know, it expounds in that whole chapter that Job was being basically, for the most part, upright, and the Lord wanted to try his spirit. He sent Satan out there to do it, you know. So he was made to reprove our thoughts. He gonna try your spirit however he deem fit. It says, he is grievous unto us, even to behold, for his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. Going back to what I made a statement of with the 2 niggas on the goddamn light pole. I don't want to elaborate on it no more because I really want to get that thought out of my head, man. But the fact that I had to see this shit on the video on the social media, and I'm like, damn, man, this really what they doing in these other cities? Now they do the shit here where I'm at in Cleveland, but it wasn't on the level like what the fuck they doing, like say out in LA or out in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? Well, that shit been going on and it's thriving out there, you know, that homosexual shit, you know. So Esau's ways are of another fashion. He do shit that we wouldn't even think of, you know. And I ain't even gonna expound on it too much, but just throwing it out there. So I'm about to keep going on Esau, but I read this earlier and I wanted to bring it out in the book of Nehemiah, the 9th chapter, the 36th verse. All right, and this is speaking about us, the Israelites, by the way, and how we brought low under Esau, by the way. So it says, behold, we are servants this day, and for the land that thou gavest unto our fathers, to eat the fruit thereof and the good thereof. Behold, we are servants in it. All right. Hey, we got taken out of the land of Israel, and that land was given to these heathens, man. It was given to these Samaritans and shit, man. And it said, behold, we are servants this day, which is true. We got to get up and work at 9 to 5. Brothers barely making ends meet, you know. Brothers living paycheck to paycheck if they even got a job, you know. Really just going off of faith alone, you know. And then we got our own brothers coming up into us, calling us bums and shit just because the certain garments we got or you know, little bullshit, man. And it says, and for the land that thou gavest unto our fathers to eat the fruit thereof and the good thereof, and it's spoken of in 2 Kings, by the way. You brothers can check it out for yourself. I believe it's either the 16th or the 17th chapter that expounds on that. It says, behold, we are servants in it. All right. And one thing I just seen today too, a brother had put up, hey man, they making lettuce out of like some bullshit liquid. You know, I don't know how, y'all really just gotta look it up, but it's like GMO lettuce. It's fucking ridiculous, man. So it says, and it yieldeth much increase unto the kings. And I was expounding this at camp. I was upset as fuck when I had to really sit back and ponder on it. These white collar workers, you know, and these Edomites is how they set it up in their favor. These white collar workers sit behind a computer, you know, all fucking day with a suit and tie on, with Starbucks in their hand, and they make the most money, you know, tapping their fingers. Here it is, the blue collar workers, which keep the company going. They loading the trucks, they unloading the trucks, they moving the inventory here and there. They get treated like shit, you know, and they are the ones that's really keeping the company afloat, you know. So we servants in it, and it said it yieldeth much increase. All that increase come by way of people that's getting hands on, getting hands dirty, not because you know what I'm saying, typing up a couple letters and shit. And it says, whom thou hast set over us because of our sins. Also, they have dominion over our bodies. So from what we eat, shit, they watching your smart TV, smartphones, all that shit. They got the RFID chip in it already. Shit, they want to put the RFID chip in you. That's a future prophecy that they're trying to bestow upon us. All right. So it says that also they have dominion over our bodies. You know, they put chemtrails in the air to make you sick, and then they prosper off of you going to the damn doctor. You know, and this is just, and I say it time after time again, this is not living. You know, this is not fucking life. The brother was bringing this out, the brother Karab down in the Miami camp. He was basically expounding on, you know what I'm saying? He that try to save his life shall lose it. And I know it's in the scripture, but he just did a video on it. You know, he that try to save his life shall lose it, you know? And these people, they going to the doctor, they getting all types of surgeries done, you know. It's just too much to even fucking name. But the fact that people love their lives, you know, and we hate our lives unto death, as spoken of in the book of Revelation. These people they love in their life, they gonna fucking lose it. As a matter of fact, I actually I'm gonna grab that, but there's still a little bit more on here. So bear with me right quick while I look up this scripture. I believe it's in the book of St. John. I just can't remember which 12 and 25. St. John 12 and 25. I'm gonna keep that on deck. All right. Still in Nehemiah chapter 9, verse 37. I'm bringing that back. And it yielded much increase unto the kings whom thou hast set over us because of our sins. So because of our fuck ups, our transgressions of the law, statutes, and commandments, going and worshiping other gods, as I just read about how the Lord didn't spare his angels, but delivered them into the reserved them to the day of judgment as well. Talking about the elect whom we hoping to be. All right. And we hoping to actually we being diligent to hopefully get our record expunged, as spoken of in Isaiah 1 and 18. All right. So it says, also they have dominion over our bodies and over our cattle at their pleasure, and we are in great distress. All right. So hey, shit, what were they supposed to give us? 40 acres and a mule? Hey, we don't even want that shit now. We beyond that. You know, we got to get bloodshed. I just did a video yesterday on my channel about that Numbers 35 and 33. We want you niggas bloodshed, man. Ain't no amount of money or reparation gonna be able See, that's what them black conscious niggas want. They want a couple dollars because they comfortable here. You know, they the ones that was talking that shit in the wilderness, talking about we are better to been in Egypt, you know what I'm saying, where we can eat to the full, you know, and basically be servants for these Egyptians and shit. They was comfortable working a 9 to 5. We not comfortable with this shit. You know, I don't want the crumbs that fell from the rich man's table. And the fact that they have dominion over our bodies, what we eat, what we say, what we do, you know what I'm saying? Over our cattle, which we don't even, most brothers don't even have land. I mean, some brothers got a little land. They might have like a little livestock if the Lord permits it. But for the most part, not too many brothers got any land at their expense. And it says at their pleasure, and we are in great distress, which is why I titled this video, we tired of this shit. You know, we tired of having to serve you fucking devils. We tired of you devils having rulership over us, and y'all ruling this bitch into the ground. I gotta grab that in Proverbs 29 and 2. And yeah, I could stop, I could drop it there. I gotta grab this precept right quick. It's Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. All right. So when the righteous beareth rule, the people they're gonna be rejoicing, man. These people is longing for us to rule over them. You know, hey, I was just looking up a little gig section on the Craigslist shit yesterday, and as crazy as it sounds, I'm trying to stay on topic. I seen it was an Edomite. He said, "I'm a white male and I want to be a servant." He said, "I will pay you to be my servant." This was under Craigslist Cleveland, under the gig section. I literally yesterday I seen this shit, and I ain't really expound on it, but I'm only speaking on it now because it correlates with this. He said, "I'm willing to pay you to be a servant. I could be your footstool while you watch TV. I know it's a weird fetish that I have." I'm like, these people just ready to be fucking ruled over, man. You know, and they don't. The elite know it, but they too prideful to want to admit it. You know, so it says the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. All right, and right now we mourning. Why are we tired of this shit? We tired of this bullshit. We tired of not having enough. You know, like Haggai 1 and 6 said, brothers work and it's like a bag filled with holes. You know, as soon as you get a check, it's gone. It's gone that day, that hour. Once you done did the math in your head, what got to go to what bill, what got to go to this, what got to go to that. Damn, I got to put money into my car again. You know, like shit like that. Meanwhile, Esau blowing this bullshit fiat money, you know what I'm saying? Like it's nothing. And that's all got to do with the fact that they had it set up, the so-called baby boomers, as they would call it. They had it set up in their favor for their children. And that's spoken of in also Job, with that like the 21st chapter. But let me grab this here in St. John chapter 12, verse 25. It says, he that loveth his life shall lose it, and he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal. All right. And we hate this life in this world, you know, because the simple fact that, once again, brothers don't like having to work just to make ends meet, not to work. Esau talking all the jobs overseas any goddamn way. You know what I'm saying? We tired of having to deal with bonehead ass niggas that want to be weed smoking, niggas who don't want to hearken to the truth. You know what I'm saying? Where they say, I know the Bible already. They do this infamous ass line. They say, don't tell me what the Bible say, tell me what you think. What's your opinion? You know what I'm saying? And that's just, that right there is vexing enough to let me know that you ain't really even worth my time, you know? And hey, shit, we had our life in this world, as spoken of in the book of Revelation. Let me see which one it is. It's that like the 11th or 12th chapter. They love not their lives unto death. Let me see. Uh, 12 and 11. Revelation chapter 12, verse 11. It says, and they overcame him. Let me start up a bit. Start at 9. Revelation chapter 12, verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan. All right, which devil, when you look up the word, it means deceiver. All right, and Satan means our adversary, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. All right, his little messengers, his minions. per se. And Satan's physical counterpart is Esau today. All right. You got spiritual demon Satan, and you got his physical counterpart as Esau. Spiritual demon Satan works for the Most High. They on one accord. They're not contrary to one another, as the Greek mythology like to say that Zeus versus Hades. They were brothers and they got enmity and he was cast out and now they had war with one another. That's not true. You know, it said in the book of Job 1:6 that he came into him and he responded and basically spoke back to him. He reported to the Most High. All right. So it says, which deceived the whole world. How did he deceive the whole world? With that image, all right, of Caesar Borgia as being our so-called Lord and Savior, who people ignorantly call Jesus Christ, Hebrew name Yahweh Shah, all right. Also, with the RFID chip, and Lord will not expound on that in a moment in Revelation the 19th chapter. So it says, verse 10, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of, it says Christ, but I'm going to say Yahweh Shah, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. All right. It says, verse 11, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. And this making me think of a precept before the spirit switch. I got to grab it on hold just so it don't leave me. Isaiah 62, because it just said day and night. And it just resonated with me. Bear with me right quick. These Roman numerals getting at me. Isaiah 60, is it 62? Bear with me right quick because I think I'm looking at the wrong one and I'm not sure. 62 and 6. All right. Still in Revelation. I'm bringing that back. Chapter 12, verse 10. It's like 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. Perfectly correlating with that St. John that I just read. You know, what was that? St. John 12 and 25, I believe. All right. So we love not our lives unto death, you know, and we know that some brothers may have to go out as a martyr, but fuck it, we with it. You know, as it's spoken of in Psalms 84 and 10, that King David said, I'd rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my power than to dwell in the tents of the wicked. You know, we know that this is not living here. So we'd rather be someone small inside, but still with our Heavenly Father, you know what I'm saying, ruling in righteousness, rather than to be prosperous here in the tents of the wicked. Here we give you all this money, but you got to sell your soul. As the scripture say, he cast away his bowels, you know? So, God, we hate this fucking place. You know what I'm saying? Just thinking about a lot of the shit that these people do is wickedness and vexing in and of itself. Like what just came to mind, that whole Bohemian Grove shit that they do, the rituals, the blood sacrifices, these what you want to call them, priests, bullshit ass priests, the Pope sucking on baby penises, shit like that, man. That's not even biblical, you know. And they doing that shit, and they lords over us right now. As unfortunate as it is, they lords over us. All right. So I just made a statement of Revelation, the 12th chapter, the 10th verse, and it said at the end, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. All right. And we cast down because with this, what's this, one of my favorites too, St. John 16 and 2. Hey, many of people gonna be trying to put us to death thinking to do the Lord's service. I'm gonna grab that as well. And bear with me. I know I keep bringing up different scriptures. I'm gonna try to get them all in the proper order, but it's just the spirit right now. So bear with me right quick. I got like 3 of them I want to grab, hopefully before the spirit switch. So St. John 16, verse 2. It says, they shall put you out of the synagogues. Yeah, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth Yahweh's service. So they're gonna think they be doing the Lord's service by putting some of us to death, as it's spoken of in 216th chapter, that they're gonna be like madmen, sparing none. You know, they're still robbing and spoiling those that fear the Lord. So they're gonna be coming down upon us having great wrath. And that's coming in our lifetime to the men of the Lord who we believe we're the men of the Lord, that's firmly believing in Yahweh Shem Yahushua and rightly dividing the word of truth, speaking out against Esau. Not like IUIC saying that we can't speak out against Esau, not like these other camps, you know what I'm saying, who say that the RFID chip is an embargo or it's something else and it's not the RFID chip. I mean, the mark of the beast, you know? So it says, Isaiah 62, verse 6, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Yeah, that make it's like a ye that make mention of Yahweh, keep not silence. So he set watchmen upon the walls of Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night, as I just read in the book of Revelation. All right, and that's what we're doing right now. Is what it says, 11:51 p.m. You know, I know the GMS Chicago is live right now, so that's probably why the little feed is low. But it's all good because we all on one accord. You know, we all members of one body. We pushing the same thing, man. You know, and the fact that the matter remains. Let me expound on this first. Jerusalem is a people before it's a place, but we not holding our peace day nor night. Okay, and it says, "Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence." You ain't supposed to have this truth and bottle it up or hide it under a bushel or under a bed, as the scriptures say. You're supposed to set it upon the candlestick that he that come in may see it. So we got the knowledge and understanding of the scriptures. For the most part, we got enough for our salvation, is what I'm trying to say. We might not have everything. Brothers want to get all extra deep and technical, want to know what happened to Dan and shit like that. But that's contrary to you being saved. You got the name, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you know what I'm saying? You know he's not a so-called white man. You know that you're not supposed to fear the chariots when they come. You know, you got the enough for your salvation. You know, we know that we're supposed to be on the highways and byways, rightly dividing the word of truth, you know what I'm saying, and being brotherly, so on and so forth. You know, we got enough to be saved, is what I'm trying to say. So that's that. Let me get, because I made mention of it, and I don't want to be misleading brothers. Revelation 19, I believe it's the 20th verse. And I'll fuck my sword up, so I gotta hold it like this. Yep, this it. Revelation 19 and 20. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that have received the mark of the beast. So once again, I just spoke about in Revelation, what was that, the 12th chapter, they said the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. All right, he deceived people with the image of Caesar Borgia, and he also deceived them with taking this chip. He gonna tell you, he gonna make up some fad or trend about it, making it seem cool. You ain't gonna carry your wallet, no more losing your keys, no more losing your, you know what I'm saying, your ID, leaving it at home and having to take another 30-minute commute back home just to go get it. Have it all in you, you know. That's why they started to put it in your credit cards. So they winged it on you, because when you go to the store, like today, I had to go fucking renew my license. And what the dude asked me, like, do your credit card got the chip? Or do you got the chip in the card? You know, shit, just basically programming your mind to already be instinctive to say, yeah, I got the chip, or no, I don't got the chip, you know? And that's what they preparing to do. So bringing back Revelation 19 and 20, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet, all right, that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that have received the mark of the beast. So the beast gonna be taken, and I'm gonna grab that, Lord willing, next, Ezekiel 25 and 14, as well as these false prophets, you know, like what do, and I just made mention of the IUIC, Nathaniel, you're talking about don't talk about Esau. That's a false prophecy. You know what I'm saying? And that perfectly correlates with Ezekiel 25 and 14, because we're supposed to speak out against them. Also about the RFID chip, he gonna deceive you people. He set y'all up for the okie doke, as the brother said. You know, I think that was GMS 100, GMS Awakening 144. I believe that was that brother that said it. You know, he's setting you up for the okie doke. You know, to take the chip. He misleading and deceiving the whole flock to take that damn chip, whoever is under him. but it's spoken of in Matthew 24:24 that you ain't gonna deceive the elect. And so, Lord willing, I want to grab them two scriptures next, but let me finish this one. Revelation 19:20. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that had wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that have received the mark of the beast and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into the lake of fire, burning with brimstone. All right. So that's what's going to be your latter end. And that's spoken of more in depth in Revelation, the 14th chapter. That if you take that chip, you're going to get destroyed, like I said, by fire and brimstone. Same with you homosexuals, you faggots, you people who uphold it. Because you can't be lukewarm either. You got to be either with it or against it. You got to make up your mind. You know, ain't no in between, ain't no straddling the fence. So, hey, the time comes, man, where you're gonna have to make a decision. Same thing with brothers in this truth. With taking the chip, you're gonna be presented with the option, and hey, you might have to go out as a martyr, you know, firmly believing in the truth, or if you love your life, you're gonna still be destroyed. That's the thing too. If you gotta so-called die anyway, why not do it for the namesake of the Lord? At least you get a reward at the end of that, you know, instead of a missile. The brothers, I know, man, shit, we fear the Heavenly Father. Brothers see them missiles do, you know what I'm saying? Shit, everybody trying to be feeling that. Hey, the scriptures say in their heads they do hurt. Anybody trying to be going through no pain like that, man? I want shit. The desires of this flesh. Let me not say this flesh. The desires of thy heart, as the scriptures say in the book of Psalms, you know, all these different women and the land, multiple children, you know. We trying to be kingdom minded. You ain't living here. What you save your life for? So you can keep pushing your little Dodge Neon, you know what I'm saying, up the block that only start when it want to, so you can keep working for Esau. You know, what you saving your life for? It's once again, it's asinine. So let me grab these scriptures. I said Ezekiel 25 and 14. What else I make mention of? It just slipped my mind. Lord, when it come back to me. I made mention Ezekiel 25 and 14. I just thought about this again in Luke. And there's one more. But if the spirit come back to me, I grab it. Bear with me right quick though. 16, yep, that's it. All right, so this is Ezekiel 25, verse 14. It says, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord Yahweh. So, Salakia, this is the Old Testament prophecy that still has to come to fruition. It has not been fulfilled yet, all right? And we're going to do in Edom according to the Lord's anger, not our anger, because if it was up to us, we might kill, like, say, 10 babies and think that that's it, you know? But the Lord got to put that spirit on us to let us be firm with it, you know what I'm saying? And not be, like you say, what's that, Jeremiah 48 and 10, you know what I'm saying? Keeping our sword back from the blood. Let me grab that as well. Because that's what Saul did. You know, he tried to make a sacrifice with them lambs and save the king alive for the Lord, but he told him to kill them all. All right, so this is Jeremiah 48 and 10. Cursed be he that doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully. A cursed be he that keepeth back his sword from blood. All right, so cursed be he that doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully. Like Nathaniel, and I got to keep getting on his ass because you're going off. You once knew the name, and now no longer teaching it. You teaching people that the RFID chip is not the mark of the beast, but you say it's an embargo. You know, you tell them, how can you buy and sell with the RFID chip? When it's clear as day, all you gotta do is type it in on YouTube and you can see it for yourself. Shit, the credit card you use, that's how. All right? Because they all updated like that. They all got that chip in it. They ain't letting you just use the magnetic strip no more. You know? Let me see where I'm going with this. Let me grab St. Luke chapter 16, verse 15. It says, and he said unto them, ye are they which justify yourselves before men, but Yahweh knoweth your hearts. For that which is highly esteemed amongst men is an abomination in the sight of Yahweh. All right. So everything that's highly esteemed amongst men is an abomination in the sight of the Lord. Whether you want to speak, which recently took place about the NBA finals, uh, homosexuality, this gay pride, because this yesterday was that gay pride weekend shit. Um, setting a nigga woman on high, these other guys, idols, what I'm saying, idolatry, shit like that. It's an abomination in the sight of the Lord. Everything that's highly esteemed amongst men, man. That's why the Lord deals with a small multitude. He don't deal with everybody. He don't deal with everything. The things that these people think. Like it says here in James 4:4, ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with Yahweh. Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of, as I'm gonna read verbatim, of God. All right. So if you want to be a friend of the world, you're an enemy of the Most High. All right. And I'm gonna end it on that. Like I said back in this title, we tired of this shit, you know. And I ain't got to elaborate on everything, but brothers, if you're in the right spirit, you feel where I'm coming from. As a matter of fact, before I close, I want to grab one more scripture that just came to mind, and it's Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 4. It says, "The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth." So if you wise, you sign and crying for the abominations done in the midst thereof. All right. And we looking and hastening to that, I'm gonna say mark of exemption. When you look it up, that's what it's talking about in Ezekiel 9:4. It's different from the Greek word charagma, which is an implant or an incision. All right, we want that mark of exemption. We want to be saved, brothers. I know brothers got families out there, girlfriends, wives, children that you want to see saved. They're gonna be saved through you as long as we endure to the end. So it says, "The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth." That folly, happy, jolly spirit. All right. And one more just came to mind just because I made that statement. This is Acts chapter 16, I believe, verse 31. And it says, "And they said, Believe on the Lord Yahushua Mashiach, and thou shalt be saved and thy house." So we know it's not just faith alone, you know what I'm saying? It's, of course, doing the works as well. And I know we all on one accord for the most part, but I'm just throwing it out there, if brothers really say they love their children, because we ask people this when we testing their spirit on the highways and the byways as well. If you really love your children like y'all say y'all do, you will be believing in Yahweh Shemiah Shai. And part of that, like he asked Peter, he said, he said, "If you love me, keep my commandments. If you love me, feed my sheep." So with that, I'm gonna say, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Kahla wa kahwa la Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, and Mawaf Lababa, death to America. Shalom, water for the brother that just tuned in. Hopefully this video was edifying to him. Maybe was just watching and tuning in and whatnot. And as always, hold fast that which is good. There's not losing and understanding. That's all we got. That's gonna be the stability of our times, in these latter days to come. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.